Hi, my name is Antoinette Griffin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about 5 ways that you can calm your nerves when you have the opportunity to speak publicly. Sometimes I know it doesn't seem like an opportunity. It may be a situation where you have to speak in public and you really don't want to. And I remember those sleepless nights ahead of time before I had to speak in public, and how I would just work myself up into a frenzy of nerves. And so I'm going to share with you 5 things that have worked well for me over the years, and I'm confident that they will help you as well. Number 1, don't memorize your talk or your presentation. So many times we confuse preparation with memorization. And oh my gosh, who would not be stressed out if they knew they had to memorize word for word whatever they were going to say? When we're giving a presentation, whether it's a professional presentation or a personal talk that we're doing in front of people, we don't have lines that we have to memorize. We have points that we need to get across, but that's different than having your talk memorized word for word. The great thing about when you're public speaking is nobody really knows word for word what your talk is going to be. They have expectations for certain points that you're going to get across usually, but nobody knows your content like you do. Number 2, which is related to number 1, and that is know the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth when you stand up to speak, because you definitely want to prepare an opening, an attention-getting opening. One of the things that you don't want to do is just stand up or start your presentation or your talk by saying, well, I'm really glad to be here today, or, well, let's go ahead and get started. That's really not an attention-grabbing opening. So even though you don't want to memorize your talk, you do want to know what is the very first thing that you're going to say when you speak, and know that when you have prepared that you're going to be more confident when you do begin to speak. Because sometimes that's the scariest part, is when you're starting. And so if you are prepared to know what's going to come out of your mouth as soon as you speak, then your nerves are going to settle down. Number 3, try to be the first to enter the room or to visit the place ahead of time. Oh my gosh, this is something that will truly calm your nerves. It will help you to kind of get a feel for what does the room feel like. If you're having to speak on stage, walk up on stage so that you'll know, what do the steps feel like? How many stairs do I have to take to get on the stage? What does the stage space feel like and look like? And even practice from stage. I remember even when I got the opportunity to speak at my dad's funeral service, I actually asked if I could visit the chapel ahead of time so that I could get a feel for the space and what was it like to speak at the front of the room. So this works in personal settings as well. What it does is it takes out the unknown. It takes out the unknown of having to enter the head of the room or enter the stage for the very first time when the room is full, and it really will help calm your nerves. Another benefit of this is you can get everything settled ahead of time. So what I mean by that is you can put your notes that you want to refer to up on the lectern or the podium, or if there's a little shelf underneath, you can have water up there ready for you. Unless you've got somebody taking care of these logistics for you, which it's great when you do, sometimes you're the one that has to take care of these things. And you want to make sure and get these taken care of when the room is empty. And that way it's just much more calming to know that you have everything that you need at your fingertips ahead of time. Another thing to think about is, where are you going to sit before the meeting starts? Are you going to sit at a specific place backstage? Are you going to sit in the front of the room? Are you going to sit in the back of the room? Just find out where you're going to sit and claim your chair ahead of time. Once again, it takes out the unknowns so that when the meeting is getting ready to start, you will feel much more prepared and much more at ease. Number 4, I think that so few people who speak do this, but it is something that I started doing a few years ago, and it has really worked well for me, and it really has helped me connect with the people in the audience, the people that I'm going to speak to later. And that is when they're starting to come into the room, because I've done all the preparations ahead of time as far as getting everything where it needs to go, getting all my stuff where it needs to go, I mingle with the audience ahead of time. You can do this by either standing at the door when they're coming in. That's always a great spot to do that. Or just work your way around the room. You don't have to talk to everybody, but being able to connect with members of the audience does 2 things. First of all, they feel a connection with you. So you're already establishing credibility and a good reputation with them. And secondly, which is even just a great benefit, and that is it will calm you down because you're taking the attention off of yourself and you're putting the attention on to other people. Even if you're an introvert, even if this feels uncomfortable for you, know that when you exert the energy to take the initiative and speak to members of the audience, it's going to make you feel more confident and at ease when you begin to speak. Now, before I get to number 5, if you do a lot of video speaking or video presentations or video conference calls, then you'll want to check out my video on 10 ways to make a great impression on video calls. And I've got the link to it right here and in the description below. So let's get to number 5, and that is embrace your nerves. Embrace those nerves because really it's adrenaline, and recognize that as a good thing. So embrace it not as, oh my gosh, I'm nervous, so therefore I'm going to do horrible. Know that when our adrenaline is pumping, then we're going to be more alert. We're going to really do a better job because our brain is going to be more alert. And so embrace it and see it as a good thing and not as something that paralyzes you. If you have liked this video, I hope you will press like and I hope you will subscribe to my channel.